Blessed and peace, everybody. Good to have y'all again on this Wednesday night in the Word, on this Bible study night. I'm grateful to have all of you here. Thank God for all of you being here and watching with us again. It's another day's journey, and we are truly glad about it. I'm excited once again for another opportunity to come on this Wednesday night. Again, God has blessed us. He's got something to say to us. I'm dressed up because this is my pre-birthday shenanigans. The month of June is the month of the greatest month of the year that God blessed us with. And I am hip-hop happy for what God is going to bless us with on tonight. I thank God for all of you that are watching, to my family, my mom and dad that are always watching every week, to the five, and to my children, and to my grandson that's here in the house, but he is isolated at the moment because he was going to be talking while Papa was talking. So we've got him all in another room watching Boss Baby and all of that stuff at that particular time. So I am truly grateful to God on tonight. For all of you, let me say again, as I always say, thank you for your prayers and your encouragement. Those of you that have been sharing it, keep on pushing the share button. Let's share this word with everybody that we possibly can. It is nothing personal for me. I take no credit. To God be the glory for all the things that he has done. To my friends and brothers of the gospel that are doing their Bible studies tonight, I pray that God will bless you in your Bible study lessons on tonight. I shouted out to my friend and brother, Pastor Marion Williams of the Unity Baptist Church in Baytown. Shouted out to him on his Bible study, and we always shout on each other and witness with each other for our Bible studies, and I'm grateful. Pastor Rodell Brown, my brother, and all of my preacher friends that are out there. Let's go to God. Let's get into it. Let's see what God got to say. Bless your name, oh God, for who you are. Bless your name for your goodness, your mercy. Thank you for all that you've done, all that you continue to do. We love you. We adore you. We appreciate you. Now, God, we ask that you take us ourselves, fill us with your Holy Spirit. Let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be acceptable in my sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. And amen. Y'all grab your Bible, grab your phone. Y'all know how to get out. Let's get it. Y'all know what we need to do. Let's get out on this watch and see what God has to say. Genesis chapter 32. Genesis chapter 32 is where we'll come from on tonight. Genesis chapter 32, verses 24 through 30. Chapter 32, verse 24 through 30. You got your Bible, got your phone, we'll get it out of the King James Version. Verse 24 says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. When he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. Verse 30, and Jacob called the name of the place of Peniel. For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Amen. Grass little flower fades, the word of our God shall stand forever. Our Bible study tonight come from the subject, I'm living because of my limp. I'm living because of my limp. Hashtag excuse my limp. I'm living because of my limp. Hashtag excuse my limp. A writer out of California by the name of Jerry Lott, who did missionary work in the country of Africa, in the highlands of Africa, the hills of Africa. He took time to write a book. I believe it was published in 2016. And when it was published, he called the book Living with a Limp. And this was one of the stories that he writes from the memoirs that he has called Running Life's Race with a Limp. And this book gets down to where we all live day by day, that all of us have to limp some way or another. And one of the things I liked about it in this book that Jerry Lott writes, Jerry Lott says, a limp may be physical, mental, or even spiritual, but whatever it may mean to your life, it can be detrimental to you, or if you allow God to use it, it can be a catapult to higher things God has in store. I like the little part right there. And with that being said, brothers and sisters, I submit to you that life can still be lived to the best of your ability after we've been dealt with crippling blows from life and has chosen to live with a limp in a godly direction for the rest of our lives. So the tension of the text and the troublemaker verses from verses 24 to 31, Jacob has a situation that he has to deal with that's not that simple. When you get a chance, when you read Genesis chapter 27, Jacob is in a situation with his brother Esau. Their father is old in age and he is bedridden, he is blind, can't see. He can only feel, hear, and touch. And his mother, Rebecca, which I had Bible read, Rebecca hears the fact. She comes up with a scheme. His own mama tells Jacob, you need to get with your daddy, and he's passing out blessings. So she says, I heard him tell your brother Esau to bring him some venison, and then he's going to give him his birthright. You need to get in there. And they pull a scheme together to trick his own father. Jacob puts on some skins. He puts on some animal skin to make it seem like he's hairy, like his brother Esau. And he goes in and he tricks his father and makes his father give him what did not belong to him. And so the tension of the whole thing is that Jacob is on the run from his brother Esau. And when we come to chapter 32, when you read it, he's on the run from his brother Esau because he took something that didn't belong to him, his brother's birthright, and that is a privilege that was only designed and designated for his brother. But because he couldn't wait his turn, watch this, he took a turn that wasn't even his to take. Wow. I said something right there. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you have to be careful, because when you let people that have no integrity for you talk you into something that is not for you, they can talk you into something you should have never been in. Wow, rewind, stroke, press play, say it one more time. When you let people that have no integrity for you talk you into something that is not for you, they talk you into something you should have never been in. And can I help you make a claim? Let me spark right here and get out and put it in neutral. Let me show you what it means. You can't let folk talk you into something that you know God ain't put you in. You have to stick with your gift. You have to stick in your area. You can't let folks pump your head up to something that you know you're not equipped to do. God has given us all individual gifts, and you can't take my gift, I can't take your gift. We all have to work the gift that you have, and then let God put some feet to your faith and bless you in the area that you're in. And with that being said, you ain't got to manipulate nobody. You ain't got to lie to get to where you need to get to. You ain't got to scheme and connive and do all these things underhand and cut folks down to get above them, because sooner or later, the folks that you cut down and the folks that you manipulated, you got to see them again, because what goes around comes around. And so now Jacob is in a situation that now he has to finally face. And so here it is, brothers and sisters. Chapter 27, as I told you, is where the tension starts. That's where the tension starts. So his mama gets him into something. But now it's not his mama that God has to deal with. Because you, regardless of who it is, you should have sense enough to know the difference of what to do and what not to do. And here in Genesis chapter 32, Jacob is on the run, and God allows him to be on the run from chapter 27 to chapter 32. And put a pause, then I'll come back. Everybody, watch this, y'all. This one blessed me right here. Everybody that endorses you, does not want to endorse you. Watch this. Everybody that endorses you, that calls your name and pumping your head up and doing these things for you and this thing and that and another, they're only endorsing you just to push you for their own purpose and their own plan. Because everybody's not endorsing you for your good. Sometimes sometimes people will name drop just to be able to say they were with you. They want something from you. And as soon as they can get what they can get from you, then they're through with you. So you have to be careful who you attach yourself to and who name you call, because everybody that endorses you, come here, is not for you. I'm talking to y'all, heck, like I'm not. Just talk to you, boy. Just type it on the screen. Preacher talk, whatever you want. Be careful of the names you call, because some folks have broken. Watch this. This will bless me right here, y'all. Those of you that's writing or whoever got it on the screen, put it on the screen for yourself. Some folks have broken full-time friendships and relationships. Watch, for part-time fans, because you become desperate to be known, desperate to be seen, desperate to be heard, and your whole life is schizophrenic. All your life is over everywhere because you don't know who you are, and you forget whose you are. So you're all over the place, and God says, no, let me bring you down a peg or two. So God says the best way to get your attention, watch this, is to get in your way. I ain't got nobody to talk to me. So God says the best way to get your attention is to get in your way. And when you think you got away, look, that's when God gets in the way. Genesis chapter 27, when Jacob was a trickster, that's what his name meant, was trickster. And so he waits until Genesis 32, 5 chapters later. God said, I've got to break you, so I've got to save you from your own self-destruction. In other words, you're doing too much. And whether we tell the truth or not, I know we in the 6th month of this year, and God had to break the whole world down, because sooner or later he got sick and tired of us doing the same old thing, the same old way, scheming, conniving folks, stepping over folks to get over, stepping over people to do this, lying to get this, lying to get that, manipulating this and that, and then some. And God puts a pause and a stop button on the whole world and says, now I got to break y'all down to get your attention. And sometimes God has to get in the way and say, you're doing too much. So God has to step in and save us from ourselves, because we get beside ourselves. Rewind, say it one more time, Stroke. So God has to step in and save us from ourselves, because we get beside ourselves. Lord, have mercy. And if we tell the truth, we've got beside ourselves too many times. And mom and dad and whoever that was older had to snatch us back to realize that you have to do what has been told of you to do. Because when you get beside yourself, sometimes you have to be shook up. Sometimes you got to be corrected. And if God corrects us, that means he loves us. Because the scripture says he chastens whom he loves. Talk straight, I'm doing the best I can. And when you are chastened, that means regardless of the simple fact that God chastens me, he's got his hands on me. Put a pause there, put a pin there. I'm coming back to it. Because as long as he's whooping me, that means he's still got his hand on me. Because he could have let me go. He could have dropped me off from where I was. But he loved me enough to still hold on to me, even when I do stuff I don't have the business to be doing. And so here, brothers and sisters, here's what we look at. Here's the thing that we have to pay attention to right along here. The first thing that we got tonight, first thing we look at is, what am I living for? That's the first point that Jacob wants y'all to kind of recognize. He says, Stroke, make sure to let them know here. The first thing, what am I living for? And the first thing, Jacob finds himself in a complicated yet controlled situation. I wish I had the Bible reader right here. It said Jacob finds himself in a complicated yet controlled situation. But listen to the reason that Jacob says he's living. I had talked with Jacob, and Jacob said, Stroke, the reason why I was living is because I had to be broken to understand my blessing in brokenness. My God, let me say it again. He says, I'm living because I had to be broken to understand my blessing in brokenness. And see, here's the thing. He said, people that broke you before the Lord, watch this, don't understand building you back up. It's because they specialize in breaking things. They're destructive. You've had some folks break you. Come on, talk to you. Come on, talk to me. You've had your heart broken. You've had your feelings broken. You've had your dreams broken. You've had your ambitions broken. You've had everything broken in your life, and people broke you. And let me help some of y'all that's the super saints to understand that people that broke you, they don't know how to build you back up. All they know how to do is break. All they know how to do is be destructive. That because in destructive, they don't know how to be constructive. Y'all, woo, I said something right along right about that. And so that's the thing. So people with a mindset of destruction, they have destruction in their word. They have destruction in their action. They have destruction in the way they treat you. Don't know how to be constructive, because when you're destructive, you're destroying. But when you're constructing, you're building up. Can I talk to you? Let me make it plain. Let me put it right here. When you're doing a demolition, they have a team of a demolition team. That demolition team comes in and tears down. They tear down what was already put up and that's already existing. But they bring in the construction team. The construction team specializes in building up what has been torn down. And that's how God works. He moves you out of some folks that have been destructive in your life. And you got to stop. You have to be able to discern the people that are destructive for your life and the people that are constructive for your life. Because there's some people that are in disguise in your life that thinking they're there to be constructive for you, to help build you up. But really they're there to look for a weak spot, to be destructive, to try to tear you down. But thank God that God has special angels, and he has a special person in your life called the Holy Spirit that will allow you to know who the difference is, or who's for you and who's not for you. And you got to be able to determine in your life that some folks are just there just to see where you're trying to go. And when you get there, they're trying to put a stop sign there. But thank God that God has the roadmap to your life, that he knows who to bring into your life to try to set you up. But the folks that come along that try to set you up are only the ones that are going to set you up to get you where you couldn't get by yourself. Thank you, because that's the way you got to be able to be thankful for the folks that are for you, and then thankful for the folks that are not for you, because you got to have a table prepared in the presence of your enemies. So everybody is welcome, because God has a design for everybody that comes into your life. And so here is the thing. As long as people around you can reap the benefits, this is what the Lord blessed me with right here, y'all. This is what blew my mind. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. So I had to stop, look at my lesson and look at it one more time and really look at it. God, my God made me put this down, write this down, scribble it down as much as I could. He says that as long as people are around you that can reap the benefits, you will always be the benefactor. You always support everybody, but nobody supports you. Talk back to me if you can. If they only support you privately, but never publicly, that's called an opportunist. They're looking for opportunity on your behalf and your benefit. I wish I had somebody talk to me. And I know you can't talk to me, but just talk to your boy on the screen, hashtag and say talk, bro. And that's the thing. If people only acknowledge you in private, but yet still are shunning you in public, they are opportunists. They're looking for opportunity that when you blow up, then they say we blew up. But when you fail, then they'll say you failed. But if you can't celebrate me in my struggle, I don't need you to celebrate me when the Lord brings me up in success. Because the thing about it is, eyes have not seen, that's one of my favorites, ears have not heard, and neither has it entered into the hearts of men. We say the Real Baptists, the good things that God has in store. But I like verse 10. We never talk about verse 10. But verse 10 of that says, but God shall reveal it in his spirit. But the thing about it, what he's already got promised for me is already packaged for me. I ain't got nobody. Thank you, Lord. What's already promised for me is already packaged for me. But I've got to go through some pain. I got to go through some problems. I got to go through some processes. I got to go through some isolation. I got to go through some loneliness. And all of this is part of the package to get me to my promise. So everybody that's around you plays a major part. And so we have to be able to be careful of the fact of who we bring in and bring around us, because God has already designed something for our lives that we didn't even desire. Lord, help me. And then that's why you have to be careful who you bring in your circle and who you bring around you, because everybody will just look at your limp but won't help you in your limp. Everybody has a limp situation. Your limp may not be mine, and my limp may not be yours, but we all got a limp of something in our lives that God had to break us in order to bless us. And so let me move quickly, y'all. I want to get to what I really want to do tonight. The first thing was, what am I limping for? And then secondly, the second thing is, Jacob wants you to know, why am I limping? Jacob says, why am I limping? He says, what am I limping for? And then the second thing, why am I limping? Jacob says, I'm limping. Y'all, this blessed me. I promise you, this blessed me. Jacob says, I'm limping so I can see God in my brokenness. Y'all, when you've been broken, you don't see nothing. I mean, you don't see nobody. You don't want to see nothing. When you've had your feelings hurt, when you've been betrayed, good Lord Jesus, that's a whole another sermon, and that's a whole another lesson in itself. When you've been betrayed and you've been broken, you ain't trying to see nothing. I wish I could hear y'all talk back to me. When you've been broken and you've been broke down to the lowest point of your life, the lowest denominator of your life, you ain't trying to see nothing about the Lord. You ain't trying to see nothing about Jesus. You want the brokenness because you're trying to understand why the brokenness has come and what the brokenness is for. Because you don't bother nobody. Look, I'm talking to somebody out here on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I'm talking to somebody. You don't bother nobody. You don't mistreat anyone. You try to do the best you can with what you know how to do. And here it is. You are the one broken. You're broken. I mean, I'm talking about all of a sudden you're just broken. And here it is. Jacob says, I'm limping so I can see God in my brokenness. You don't believe me because you close your Bible. You don't believe me because you close your Bible. And so verse 24 and verse 25, here we go. I got you. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man. And then that translation of that, in some translations, it says an angel, or some theologians have said that it was God himself. Wrestled with a man with him until the breaking of the day. And verse 25 says, and when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Let's go to verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. Stay right there, y'all. Stay right there. I'm going to come get you. Jacob says, I'm limping so I can see God in my brokenness. Now watch this. The man, which some say an angel of God himself, he broke his thigh out of joint. Listen, Jacob figured out the person that broke him was not out to hurt him. Because from past and even present experiences, people that broke your heart, broke your spirit, broke down your self-esteem, broke you to hurt everything that had something to do with you. But him in the Bible, the text says, he broke Jacob by a mere touch. Wait a minute. He wasn't playing football. He wasn't playing basketball. This man, the man capitalized M-A-N, touched him. Jacob broke Jacob's thigh by a mere touch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, can I tell you something? Nobody in my life ever broke me by touching me. But Jacob, in his brokenness, realizes that if he, the man, got power to touch me to break my whole thigh, then this same man got enough power in him to bless me. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Wait. Are you telling me that in verse 24, here it is, he's wrestling with a man, and then verse 25, this same man that he's wrestling with does not see that Jacob is going to let him go. So he cheats, touches him on the thigh to break his balance. I mean, to think that he's going to let him go and just move him out the way. But this, and he said, and you have to be careful. And here's the thing that we've got to look at, that we've got to be careful about. And there's another thing that God bless me with, blew my mind also. This is just side note for all of us soothsayers that are out there. God says you have to be careful of who touch you. Lord, help me. You have to be careful who you let touch you, because every touch is not a touch of comfort, but a touch of confusion and conflict. Because the people that are around you come to touch your dreams, come to touch your ambitions, come to touch everything you talked about in the open. Because if a person's conversation to you is not confirmation, then you need to cancel the conversation. Say it one more time, sure they missed it. If a person's conversation to you is not confirmation, then you need to cancel the conversation. Because everybody that you talk your dreams and your ambitions to are not there to push you and pull you to get to where you're trying to go. They sometimes are trying to see if they can stop you by any means necessary to get that dream out your head, get your ambitions on pause. But that's why you can't tell everybody what God's got in store for you, because everybody's not for you. Lord, help me in here. But Jacob helps us to know. And here's the thing, y'all, that God blessed me with. That Jacob is left by himself. He's alone. So God says to us, to all of us in 2020, here's another thing that God blew my mind with that we need to know. God says it's time out for allowing people to touch your body, but can't touch your soul. Let me say it one more time. Y'all acting like y'all super saved. God says it's time out for allowing people to touch your body, but they can't touch your soul. And here's the thing that blessed me right here. I got it in bold letters with the highlight on it. If they can't be gifted enough to touch your soul, then they ought not have the gift to touch your body. Talk, Stroman, I'm doing the best I can. Everybody you can't let touch you because they can contaminate you, because those that say they care for you won't do anything to hurt you. But the folks that only have conversation without any confirmation, you need to cancel the conversation, because everybody's not trying to go where you're trying to go, and they're not trying to do what you're trying to do. They just want to see how much you're going to do so they can get in the way of you, so they can try to stop you. But if God be for you, who can be against you? I wish I had somebody to just talk. I can't hear y'all talk to me. It's okay. And here's the thing, and as long as God got his hands on you, as long as God got his hands on me, even in my brokenness, he still can bless me. Hey, that's the shout part right there, because this is what he says to him in the midst of it in verse 25 and 26. I told y'all we're going to pick it back up. He said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And here's what Jacob says. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. Wait a minute, this man been broken, and he wants him to still bless him. I'm confused, because if somebody broke me, I don't want them. Because if you broke me, I don't want to be bothered with you. But Jacob says, it's something about this man, that if he can break me, he still got power to build me. Lord, help me in here. If he break me, that means he's got enough power to bless me. And if he can bless me, he's got enough power to break me whenever he get ready. Lord, talk back to me. But this same man is not like the regular man. He's not like the average man, because he's got enough power to bless me and break me when he need to. So that lets me know if I got him where I need him to be, he can touch me to break me. But even in my brokenness, he can bless me like never before. Good God, this evening. And that's why you got to be careful to the fact of how in the midst of your brokenness, you don't let everybody comfort you in the midst of your brokenness. Because your brokenness is a process between you and God. Lord, help me. I kept y'all, I'm trying not to keep y'all too long. So I told you first thing was, what am I looking for? Second thing was, why am I looking? And then third and finally says, who am I living for? This is what Jacob wants to tell you. Who am I living for? What am I living for? Who am I living for? So he says, so Jacob says, I'm living because of the one who let me live. Lord help me. He said, Jacob says, I'm living because of the one who let me live. And he says, this hurt is not to keep you hurt. And here's the thing, people that hurt you, you let them go. But this hurt is not to hinder you. This hurt is to help you. And here's the thing, and here's one of the things that Jacob said. He says, if I'm going to get a blessing, I have to hold on to the one that broke me. Because if he had power enough to break me, now I can't get away from that part. If he had power enough to put me in a broke situation, if I hold on to him enough, that same one that put me in a broke situation can put me in a blessed situation. I ain't got nobody to talk to. And here's the thing, if I'm going to be a blessing, I've got to hold on to it. Even though I'm hurting, I'm holding on. Jacob says, I can live with the limp because he didn't leave me where he found me. Y'all, I got to tell you, that's the shout part right there, because after all that Jacob did in chapter 27, God let him still get a blessing in chapter 32 of his life. His name was Trickster, by the name called Jacob. His name Jacob meant trickster. So all of his life, he's been tricking folks, manipulating, getting stuff the way he wanted to get. But God, in the midst of his great power and his great grace of who he is, he looked beyond all of that, broke him enough to still bless him in spite of it, and then changes his name. Lord, help me. And when God, you've been in the presence of God, God will take you and break you and still bless you and still change your name enough to make you a child of his in the midst of your brokenness. Can I help y'all in here today? God says the problem I have is that you got to be able to let some things break you enough so I can bless you. It's not going to come along to destroy you. It's coming along to help you. And sometimes I've got to hurt your feelings in order to help build your feelings. Sometimes I've got to put you by yourself so to let you know you're really not by yourself, because I gave you a promise in the midst of your problems that I'll always be with you, even until the end of the age. Even though if it don't look like you have nobody, you still got somebody, because I promise that I'm always there. So Jacob said, I can live with a limp because he didn't leave me where he found me. After all the stuff we've done, that's the shout part right there. After all the stuff we've done, I'm trying to keep my seat, y'all, but I feel a real Baptist fit. After all the stuff, maybe y'all won't talk about it, but let me talk about me. After all the stuff I've done, he didn't leave me where he found me. After all the stuff you've done, he didn't leave you where he found you. After all the stuff we've done, I covered everybody now. He didn't leave us where he found us. He picked us up and built us back up and put us on display to let everybody know what grace and favor looks like, because he looked beyond our faults and still supplies all our needs. He blessed us enough that he didn't leave us where he found us. And we ought to thank God for that. And the advantage is, since he broke me, limping is a part of my blessing. Lord, help me. So just like Jacob, we could all be able to declare tonight, I can live with a limp. God says the problem I have, watch, but this disclaimer that God helped me to look at also. He says, God says the problem I have is folks just want to get close to you to make you think they care, but they really care less because it's you. I said something right there. Because God can take your brokenness. Yes, God can take your brokenness. Yes, God can take your brokenness and make it a blessing. But you'll still have some folks still looking at your brokenness and overlook your blessing. Lord, help me. Because they'll celebrate and applaud everybody else that's doing the same thing you're doing. But because it's you, they'll keep their hands to themselves. But they'll applaud the same folks as y'all did you catch it? They'll applaud the same folks that's doing the same thing that you're doing. But because it's you doing it, they won't say nothing. They won't do nothing. They won't support nothing. They won't say nothing. But because it's you, that's why they won't do it. But the thing about it is, thank God for the simple fact of the matter that he has power enough to lift you beyond other folks' opinions. And this is what God says to us. They only want to get close to you because since they only see your brokenness, watch this, y'all, they think your limp is a disadvantage because it makes you have a misstep. Can I shout you right here what the Lord gave me? But if they only knew that your limp is not a disadvantage because it makes you have a misstep. Your limp is an advantage because you haven't missed a step. Lord, help me right here. Because my limp is my advantage from him blessing me. And if my limp is a problem, can I just tell you what to do? Just excuse my limp. Because I'm still living my best life. Excuse the limp I have because I've been through some stuff that I can't even tell you about that the Lord brought me through. Excuse the limp I have, but my limp is still living because he could have killed me when he found me. But because of all the stuff I know I've done, God could have left me right where I was, but he decided to give me a limp and let me live. I can take my limp and keep on living. That's what I'm going to praise him for. That's what I'm going to lift him for. That's what I'm going to give him the praise and honor for, because he didn't have to let me live. But thank you that you gave me a limp in the midst of me living. And I live with my limp because since I met Jesus, I got to be Baptist now. My life has changed. And because of him, I'll never be the same. I feel so free, so satisfied. Everything I need is close by my side. Come on, Andrew. So glad I know him. So glad I know him for myself. And I thank God for that. So I entrust that something has been said and done to y'all tonight to help us to bless you with this lesson on the rest of this week. I am truly thankful for another opportunity God has blessed us with. And I am living because of my limp. Hashtag excuse my limp. We bless God. Hopefully that's something that's blessed you. I don't do it personally myself, but my production team folks always throw my cash up there. A lot of you have asked, and I don't put it out there publicly and all that stuff of how to bless us and all that. So those of you that are led, it is not something that we're asking for, anything of that nature. If you're led, God leads you to bless us through the cash app, do something. You can definitely do that on your own. The cash app is up there. We are truly glad on this week that God has blessed us. And if the Lord says the same with next week, we will celebrate a birthday on next week, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, God's willing, June 16th will be my birthday. So I am trusting God that He'll allow me to see another year. As I say to you all every week, I don't know what the Lord is up to with everything that we're doing with the virtual Bible study and things of that nature, with the blessing of my pastor who I've served with in St. Corinth, Pastor L.K. Williams Sr. This is something that God has blessed me to do that I didn't ask to do, but this is something that God has led me to do, and it is truly, truly, truly been a blessing. I want to thank you all personally from the heart. I'm not going to get emotional. I want to thank God for all of you, all the views that have been shown. I mean, almost 300 something, 400 something views on the ministry page of the Darrell Stroman Ministries Facebook page. I thank you. You don't have to watch and you don't have to share, but I thank you for that. It's not about me at all. I'm taking no credit for at all whatsoever, and I am truly grateful for that. I'm excited again, and to get to it, y'all. I look like I cut myself short tonight because I am truly excited because next Wednesday night, y'all, I am super ecstatic about it. Bam! Next week, My son is going to be here next Wednesday night. This is something that was placed on my heart to do. On next Wednesday night, my son is going to come in my place at 7:30 next Wednesday night, first time on the camera. So he is in the building, but he is incognito. He is here with me tonight. So next Wednesday night, next Wednesday, you'll get 2 Bible study lessons next Wednesday, 12 o'clock. I'll be here, and then my son is going to come at 7:30 next Wednesday night. Yay! So it's my birthday and Father's Day edition, special edition. And an additional announcement that nobody knew. Each Wednesday that I'm not able to be here, officially this night of June the 10th, each Wednesday that I am not able to be here, my son will be doing our Bible studies. On those Wednesday nights, I am putting my son in the mix of this. I didn't ask his permission, I'm his dad, so I can tell him this is what it is. So each Wednesday that I am not here, or even there will be some Wednesdays, I will relinquish my time, that I will allow my son to do Bible studies in my place. Even when I'm not at work, I'm going to incorporate having my son to do Bible studies. We are going to start pushing to help my son's ministry, and it's going to start with the Bible studies and things of that nature. So y'all stay tuned. Share it. You got it on the screen. Share this flyer. So we're going to put an additional flyer together each particular week to let you know who's going to be coming up. If I want to do the 12 noon Bible study on Wednesday, I might, and I might not. Stay tuned. I got that power to do it. But I am truly excited, y'all, that my son's going to be coming aboard to that. We're actually going to be doing some great things, so you'll be able to see him and pray for him, and that God is going to have some great things in store this year for him and his ministry. And being his dad, we're going to push to get that done. And we're going to make sure that is something that God will be pleased with, to get his exercise in, to exercise his gift. My grandfather and my pastor now did it for me, and other pastors in this city gave me an opportunity when I was younger, even still now. And so I want to do it for my own son, to be able to have that opportunity to get done. So next Wednesday, my birthday and Father's Day special edition. Starting next Wednesday, my son will be here at 7:30. Next Wednesday night, I'll do 12 o'clock. Now don't y'all wait till 7:30 for my son. Y'all watch me at 12 next Wednesday, please. But we're definitely excited about that. Thank God, all of our folks that are in prayer, we've been praying for. We continue to pray for you. I have not gotten any new prayer requests, but I'm praying for everybody. Just because if you don't send them to us, it does not mean not praying. So we definitely want to continue to pray for the Maddox family, Sheila and little Kevin, and all the Gillsburg crew, and the Fisher family that's over there for Kevin Maddox Senior's homegoing this Saturday. Public viewing is at 10 to 10:50, and then there will be private service right after that at 11 o'clock at the Macedonian Worship Center on Brinkley Street. Pray for that family. Been knowing that family, they still consider me family, I still consider them family, and I'm honored and humbled to be able to have that relationship with them. I'm praying for Sheila and that family, and then also the Manson B. Johnson family. Pastor Johnson was a part of the Olin Street Baptist Church. I believe he's pastored that church for the whole time that I've been born, which is almost 44 years. And Pastor Johnson went home last week, complications of COVID-19. And that celebration is this Saturday, but it is a private ceremony that will be only for immediate family and friends. So that is all of the information that I know that was given to me through conference call. And so that service is going to be private for immediate family and friends this Saturday at 9 a.m. I won't be able to make either one of those services because this is my weekend to work. But my prayers are with both of these families, the bereaved families that are out there. I want to be able to say also before we close out tonight, I'm definitely praying continuously for, let's continue to pray for our nation. Even though we laid to rest on yesterday, Brother George Floyd and all of these young people that had lost their lives, Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and many others, that families are still dealing with the deaths of this injustice against the African American community. And now the world is standing for justice, and we definitely want to pray. But I still hold true to 2 Chronicles 7:14. If God be for us, who can be against us? And I still hold fast to that. That if we repent and get back to God, God will turn this around for us. And I am truly thankful for that. I want to say openly to everyone that's out there, this is not something that Lord put this on my heart to say. Be sure that you let people next to you, close to you, know that you love them. Life is too short. You don't know when death is going to come. You don't know what number you have on the list to leave away from here, but death has our number. We just don't know what number we're on the list. But while you have the time, family and friends, those of you that are looking and watching, you don't hear nothing else. Lord, I want to say to you tonight, those of you that have time, tell the folks next to you, close to you, that you love them. If you can't talk to nobody, text them and tell the people around you that you love them. There's nothing wrong with telling people you love them. That might be something that you need to hear. Regardless of you having a bad day or situations coming up or things around you, just those 3 little words can mean so much. And when somebody says it, don't think it means something behind it or something's connected to it. Need to hear something. So somebody needs to say it. If we say that we love each other a little bit more, maybe this world will get a little better. Maybe we would be better as a church, as Christians, if we said we love each other a little bit more. So let me say to all of my family and friends, if you my friend, you my family. If you my family, you my friend. I want to say to everybody, I love each and every one of you. And I love you from the bottom of my heart to all of my family, my mom and dad, my brothers and my sister-in-laws, all of my children. And they all children I claim. And all of my friends, all of my church families, I love each and every one of you. Hope you love me the same way. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Love you to death. Y'all, I'm looking forward to it. Look at the announcement that we made next Wednesday night. Don't you miss it. 2 words, 2 vessels, 12 o'clock and 7:30. Yours truly at 12. My son, Tavian Stroman at 7:30. Put a notification on your phone. Put it on whatever you need to. Write it on your head. Write it on a permanent marker, whatever the case may be. Tattoo it on yourself. Next Wednesday, special edition, birthday and Father's Day edition. Rev Darrell Stroman, Rev Tavian Stroman, 12 o'clock and 7:30. See y'all next week, y'all. Blessings and peace to you. Good night.